Imagine a world where speed is not just a number, it's a personality. Where danger isn't avoided, it's mastered. And where a young boy from a small Spanish town would rise to become one of the most feared, daring, and unstoppable forces MotoGP has ever seen. This is the story of a rider who didn't just race, he rewrote the rules.
2 weeks ago, here at round 14.
Marc Márquez has stalled on the grid! I do not believe it!
A rider who leaned so far off the bike, commentators thought gravity was broken.
Marquez in third, but Marquez almost out of shape at the Mick Doohan corner. He brings it back round, thankfully.
A rider whose injuries would have ended any other career, yet he kept returning stronger, faster, hungrier. His name became a symbol of dominance, chaos, bravery, and pure talent. This is Marc Márquez, the boss of motorcycle racing. And today, we're diving deep into his journey, his madness, his miracles, and the mindset that turned him into a motorsport legend. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear is not just a biography. It's a thrill ride through the life of the fastest man of his generation. 1. The making of a prodigy. Before the world called him the boss, Marc Márquez was just a kid in Cervera, Spain, a small town that had no idea it was raising a future global icon. From the moment Marc sat on a mini bike, something was different. While other kids were scared of falling, Marc was obsessed with speed. Even his parents noticed that he wasn't trying to stay balanced, he was trying to push the bike's limits. At age 5, he was already impressing adults with the way he leaned into corners like a miniature professional. As he grew older, his natural instincts sharpened. Late braking, aggressive lines, impossible saves. His father used to say, "Marc doesn't ride the bike follows Marc." By the time he entered junior championships, he wasn't competing, he was destroying the competition. Everyone could see it. A storm was coming to MotoGP, and it started with a little kid wearing oversized gear and a fearless smile. 2. Rising through the ranks, fearless from the start. Marc's early career wasn't just fast, it was revolutionary. From 125 cubic centimeters to Moto2, he didn't climb the ladder, he launched off it. His riding style caught attention immediately. He leaned the motorcycle so deeply that photographers captured knee, elbow, and sometimes shoulder scraping the track. Commentators used one word to describe him: unbelievable. When he entered Moto2, his battles became even more intense. Marc wasn't just trying to win. He was trying to entertain, fighting for every overtake with wild lines no one else dared to attempt. His consistency shocked veterans. Mechanics said he understood the motorcycle like it was an extension of his body. By 2012, he crushed Moto2 with a dominating performance that made the world realize something serious. Marc Márquez wasn't just talented, he was unstoppable. The MotoGP world held its breath because a new era was about to begin. And no one knew how much chaos this young rider was going to unleash. 3. Entering Motop, the rookie who changed everything. When Marc made his MotoGP debut in 2013 with the Repsol Honda team, fans expected strong results, but no one expected history. The moment he joined the Premier class, he rode like he had been there for years. He didn't act like a rookie, he acted like he owned the track. His first podium came immediately, and then it happened. His first MotoGP victory at just 20 years old, making him the youngest Premier Class race winner ever. Suddenly the paddock realized they weren't watching a newcomer. They were witnessing a phenomenon. That season, Marc's duels against icons like Valentino Rossi, Jorge Lorenzo, and Dani Pedrosa were electric. But Marc kept pushing corner after corner, overtaking after overtaking, and at the end of his debut season, he did the impossible. He became the youngest MotoGP world champion. This wasn't just a victory, it was a takeover. Marc Márquez had arrived, and MotoGP would never be the same again. 4. The era of domination, Marc's record-breaking reign. From 2014 to 2019, Marc Márquez built one of the most dominant eras in MotoGP history. His riding style evolved into something almost alien: extreme lean angles, insane recoveries, and Marquez saves that defied physics. His competitors would crash at angles he handled with a smile. Marc wasn't winning races, he was owning them. In 2014, he won 10 consecutive races, an achievement so insane it left fans and rivals shaking their heads. His confidence grew with every victory. He could brake later, lean deeper, and accelerate sooner than anyone else. Engineers struggled to understand how he managed to control a bike sliding at the edge of disaster. Every time others thought they had him figured out, Marc found a new limit to break. He wasn't just dominating the sport, he was reinventing how it was ridden. With multiple world championships under his belt, Marc became the face of MotoGP, fearless, aggressive, unmatched. This was the Marquez era, and no one could escape it. 5. The riding style that broke the rules. Marc's riding style is a science experiment fused with pure courage. His techniques pushed the sport forward in ways never seen before. First, there was the elbow down technique, a signature move that made him famous. While most riders aimed for knee contact with the asphalt, Marc dragged his elbow like it was part of the plan. It wasn't just for style. This gave him stability at impossible lean angles. Then came his late braking strategy. Marc waited until the last millisecond before squeezing the brakes, passing rivals who thought they had already reached the limit. His front-end saves, where the bike slips violently but he still recovers, became legendary. Fans replayed those moments in slow motion, convinced he used superpowers. Experts tried to copy him, but they always failed. His instincts, reflexes, and courage created a style no one else could master. Marc wasn't following physics, he was rewriting the textbook, and every race became a demonstration of his genius. 6. The rivalries, where legends collide. Every great champion needs great enemies, and Marc's career was filled with rivalries that shaped MotoGP's modern era. His duels with Jorge Lorenzo were battles of speed versus precision. With Dani Pedrosa, it was respect mixed with competition between two Spanish giants. But the biggest rivalry, the one that electrified the world, was Marc versus Valentino Rossi. Their clashes became iconic, sometimes controversial, sometimes shocking. On-track aggression, psychological warfare, media drama, every interaction between them created headlines. Fans split into camps, Rossi loyalists versus Marquez supporters. Their confrontations, especially the 2015 season drama, became part of MotoGP history. But rivalries pushed Marc to evolve, to fight harder, to ride even more fearlessly. He didn't fear anyone, not even the legends he grew up admiring. These battles didn't just define his career, they elevated MotoGP into a global spectacle watched by millions. A new future, the move to Gresini, and a new chapter. After years of struggling with Honda's unpredictable bike, Marc made a shocking decision. He left the team that made him a superstar. Moving to Gresini Racing was more than a career shift, it was a rebirth. The world watched as Marc switched from a factory team to a smaller, more intimate setup. Many questioned the decision. Some doubted he could compete. But Marc saw something they didn't, an opportunity to reclaim his joy. From the moment he touched the Ducati-powered bike, everything changed. His speed returned. His confidence resurfaced. His riding style flowed again. For the first time in years, Marc wasn't just surviving. He was smiling. The boss was returning. And MotoGP felt alive again. This new chapter didn't just revive his career. It reminded the world why Marc Márquez is one of the greatest riders in motorsport history. 10. Legacy of a legend. Why Marc is the boss. Marc Márquez's legacy isn't defined by trophies, though he has plenty. It isn't defined by statistics, though they are incredible. His legacy is defined by fearlessness. Marc represents everything that makes motorcycle racing magical: bravery, passion, unpredictability, danger, and heart. He inspired a new generation of riders to push limits they never knew existed. His style changed the sport forever. His saves became viral moments that made people believe in miracles. His battles, victories, crashes, and comebacks turned him into a symbol of resilience. Marc Márquez isn't just a world champion, he's a phenomenon. And whether he wins or loses, whether he's on a Honda, a Ducati, or any machine in the future, one thing remains true. Marc Márquez is MotoGP, and that is why he will always be known as the boss of motorcycle racing. If this deep dive documentary helped you relive the adrenaline of MotoGP's most electrifying rider, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, because we have more epic motorsport stories coming your way. Tell us in the comments, Is Marc Márquez the greatest MotoGP rider of all time? And who should we cover next? Thanks for watching, and always remember, ride fast, live free, and never stop chasing the thrill.